Up until a few chapters ago, I had completely forgotten that Chainsaw Man basically takes place in the 90s, and you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the majority, not all, but the majority of the Chainsaw Man fan base, have you guys ever even watched a VHS? That's what I'm curious about. I also love how Denji's idea of a date is going to watch mummy movies. I don't know if that is a translation error or not, but in the translation that I read, he said mummy movies. And then they're talking about VHS, and I just got to thinking that if anybody wants to go on a date with me, you can come over and we can watch mummy movies on VHS. Just saying, I have these. But before we get to the adorable slice of life moments in this chapter, we have to start at the beginning with the cliffhanger from last chapter. And if anybody thought that Denji was actually going to be turned into a weapon in this chapter, come on now. That is not the style of humor that Chainsaw Man plays with. This turned out exactly what I thought. She's gonna try it. She's basically like trying it over and over, reminding me of freaking Tobey Maguire, like go Webb, go, and just like trying it. And Denji's just sitting there, kind of taking it, being like, "This is interesting." And then he pats her on the head. You know, it's like, he's like, "Asa spinal cord sword." Nah, that was fun. Like, just completely oblivious to it that it might be something dangerous, something that he should pay attention to, and instead she just thinks it's this girl being weird. Because, to be fair, their entire date, she's extremely fucking weird. Like, she's walking around, she's not letting me go see the penguin, she's talking about starfish, she's saying, like, odd things here and there. Like, a bunch of weird stuff happens, but, you know, he finds it cute, he finds it endearing, you know what I mean? But then we also have to think about the story elements of why this didn't work, right? Obviously, the most easiest explanation is that because Denji is already hybrid with a devil, he's already Chainsaw Man, that would cause a reason for it not to work. That maybe there's something because of that it just is unable to, you know, fully go through and fully complete the task at hand. There is also the explanation that Denji, that they come up with in this chapter, is that Denji just doesn't like her like that. But as we discussed in the last chapter, it seems as though Asa only needs to feel like she has some kind of ownership over something, or believe that she has ownership over something, and not need to actually have the thing agree. You know, that's why she could buy an aquarium with such a low amount of money. Now, I also thought about Denji and his character and remembering some things from part 1 of Chainsaw Man, and maybe if his intentions and emotions do come into play when it feels like Asa has some kind of ownership over him, perhaps it didn't work because something else already has ownership over him. Perhaps it is Nayuta, who we are going to get in the next chapter, the reincarnation of the Control Devil. By its very nature, control. Well, there you go. It could also be that, look, even though Makimo is a horrible person, and even though she's not around anymore, Denji could still have some lingering attachments towards her. That was like the one chick that he really liked the best, that he really wanted to be with, and everything got so screwed up. And just because she turns into a horrible demonic maniac, you know, super villain antagonist, doesn't necessarily mean that all of Denji's affections just immediately wipe away. And I think we can all relate to that, right, fellas? But at the end of the day, it could just literally be that Asa herself kind of doesn't necessarily feel like she has that kind of ownership over him. Also, I love how frustrated she gets when she realizes that she doesn't, where Yoru is just kind of like, whatever, I'm tired, I'm going to go to sleep. And then Asa's sitting there like on her bed like, wait, what do you mean he doesn't like me that much? And I just like love that frustration. And I love that, like, it's just like I went on this awesome date with him from her perspective. She was so cool. And then he didn't like completely fall head over heels for her. I find that hilarious, her just kind of sitting there in the frustration. The other thing I thought was interesting is that Yoru mentions that yes, that was the famine devil that they encountered, but she didn't recognize her, which is strange that she wouldn't be able to pick up on it. But at the same time, I think that might lead us into the next chapter, because if Asa / Yoru meet with Nayuta, you know, that would, if she doesn't recognize her because she's different or has a different form or a different incarnation, then it stands to reason that she also won't recognize Nayuta, which might lead for some longer development of the characters and the chapters of them getting to know each other and everything before shit hits the fan. So that would be an interesting thing as well. And really, the rest of this chapter is just kind of like slice of life, like fun. What do we do on our date? Like Denji wants to go to the movies. I love Denji's face too, where she suggests going over to his place. He's like, "Oh, like like you want to come to my place?" I love that moment, and of course, he gives her a warning, which seems very ominous. You know that she can't disobey the rules once they're there. And I would imagine Nayuta. We haven't seen her at all, so I don't know. I don't even know what her character is going to be like in this part 2 of Chainsaw Man. But it would stand to reason as a control devil that she would probably have the run of the household, right? And Denji's sort of like, and he has been doing all this stuff for her, right? That's why he said he's been stealing a bunch of money and stuff, is that, you know, he's trying to provide for her, give her a good life and everything. So I would imagine she has the run of the mill of whatever household environment that they're in. So it's going to be obey her, listen to her, or else. And I could see Asa just kind of going along with it, kind of being confused. But then I could also see Yoru within Asa doing something at some point to make her disobey the rules, which will cause shit to hit the fan. And we also have the other character whose name, why am I forgetting his name? Probably because he's a new character and I haven't solidified it yet. But the other guy, the guy that's obsessed with Chainsaw Man, with the fake pull tab kind of implanted with him, he overhears this. And I think he's going to be a little bit curious about what's going on. He might even follow them. He might be a creeper, peer through the windows. I hate when that happens, man. But beyond that, fun chapter. I enjoyed it. I love the banter between Asa and Denji. I love them as a pairing. Definitely ship them at this point. So that's really it, man. There's not really a whole lot to say beyond that. We didn't get to see Yoshida or the Famine Devil or anything. It's pretty much just a fun little chapter between the two of them. So if you guys have read chapter 118 of Chainsaw Man, let me know what you think about it down below. Let me know all your thoughts, theories, opinions about what's going to happen next. I think that's the biggest thing about this chapter, is it's really priming us up for what we are about to see and what we're about to be brought into. We basically started with Asa, you know, set up her dynamic and everything, then introduce Denji, and now we're going to flow into Denji's world. So we're going to see what's going to happen with that. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed this review, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, comment down below to help it in the algorithm. Also, if you want to support the channel on that deeper level, I do have a Patreon and merch store and channel memberships turned on down below too. Other than that, guys, hope you have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you next time.